Hi, this is Kelly. Welcome back to my channel, Diamond Paintings with Kelly. And today will be another true crime today with me. It is about it's the Eileen Franklin case. I guess I could call it. But first, I'm wondering how everybody's doing, and I hope y'all are having a nice day. Here it is 7:34 and 7:36. My clock is 2 minutes slow, but 7:36 Eastern time. And why don't you tell me where you're from, and let me know how you're doing and all that good jazz. I'm looking for, there it is. Okay. I'm really glad to be back. I didn't do a video for a long time because I was just, real depressed and real anxious all the time. My doctor has given me some great, wonderful anxiety medication. So, I'll link it below, and you could ask your doctor about it if you have severe anxiety like I do. And if you see my mess on the bed, I'm sorry. Just forgive me. Oh, I got these for my birthday. My birthday's Wednesday, but my mom bought these for me off Etsy. So, because at night I wake up and can't go back to sleep, and it has a light, and I put it on, and I can see better with them than just my glasses. I don't wear glasses normally. I just wear reading glasses so I can see the symbols better. But anyway, let's get busy. And let's see what color I want to do. Let's see. Alright. So I've been doing great, except for, worrying about my mom. Her hearing's getting worse, and she's scared she's gonna go all the way. Dang it. Damn it. Sorry for the language. All the way deaf, which is, I'm not going to say this in front of her, but it don't look good. It keeps going down, and every time she has a hearing test, it's even worse. And, November 1st, we have a appointment at Emory to see if she can get a cochlear implant, which will help you hear better. And you have to go 6 weeks without hearing anything. But she has Meniere's in her right ear, which is a disease of the inner ear, and they don't know how you get it. They don't know where it came from or anything. My stomach was itchy. But she's going to ask them to do it in her left ear, because if they do it in her right, she could get more dizzy because she has vertigo with the Meniere's. They go together, so. But if you pray, could you please pray for my mom? Because okay. Let's see. And that's about all that's been going on. My fiance, husband, boyfriend, whatever you want to call him, is fine by me. Is still working a lot, and I feel like it's my fault, but why should I feel that way when he worked 2 jobs when I met him? I don't know. I always feel like everything's my fault, and I don't know why. I've always been that way. When something happens, I'm like, I'm sorry. You know, is anybody else like that besides me? I don't know. But let's see here. It was a psychological crime story Law and Order SVU viewers would have salivated over. Okay? In 1989, a woman named Eileen Franklin alleged that brought out by a look from her young daughter. She had recovered a haunting memory from her childhood, indicating that she witnessed her father, George Franklin, raping and murdering her childhood best friend, Susan Nason. Nason's death, nearly 20 years earlier, had remained unsolved until that point. You know, I heard of this story a long time ago. And, so, if you've heard of it, just let me know what you think. Because what's weird is this little girl favored her daughter so much that it brought out all these memories that she had of her father murdering and raping this young girl. I think the young girl was like 8 or something like that. Let's see here. Eileen's controversial claim incited a murder trial, during which Eileen took the witness stand to testify against her father, who was sitting directly across from her. Because the statute of limitations of sexual assault in California was 3 years at the time, George was not charged with rape. Huh. Wow. I didn't know that. Just 3 years statute of limitations on rape? Well, this was in, let's see, 1989. But still, 3 years, that's ridiculous. Because rape is one of the most worst things you could do to a child. Even murdering the child is better than raping one and have them grow up with the mindset of what happened to them. So him killing her, I hate to say this, probably for the best, because it would have ruined her life. I mean, I don't mean to sound like that, but that poor little girl. Anyway, so Eileen, a poised young woman who resembled Julianne Moore in both appearance and emotional conviction, said that the rape and murder had been so traumatic that she buried the memory in her subconscious. The memory only surfaced, Eileen claimed, when looking at her daughter when she was around the age Nathan had been when she was killed. Oh, wow. That would be so hard to deal with. Her dad was mean. Anyway, because I don't know if this is going to say all of it. No, it's not. I need to... Anyways, I'm reading this from Vanity Fair. And I might subscribe, I don't know. During the trial, Eileen alleged that her repressed memories included being in George's van in 1969 when George picked up Susan, seeing George sexually assault her friend, seeing George lift a rock to crush Susan's skull, and noticing Susan's crushed silver ring. George's defense argued that Eileen could have created the memories using details about the murder reported by the press. And I don't know why I cannot find a whole story here. But, I'll tell you, he ended up getting convicted, but I'm not sure. Let's see, I'll look him up. I'm not sure how long he got. Let's see here. Oh man, his verdict was overturned on appeal. He was found guilty. and is sentenced to life in prison. The trial of George Franklin raised the troubling question of how far courts and juries can rely upon and trust the evidence of formerly repressed memories of traumatic events in deciding a defendant's guilt or innocence. On January 1989, Eileen Franklin Lipsker was playing with her young daughter, Jessica, and as the child turned toward her, a memory of another girl in just such a pose sprang into Franklin Lipsker's mind. The memory was of her childhood best friend, yet 8-year-old Susan Nason, being raped and killed by Franklin Lipsker's father nearly 20 years earlier. And she, if she hadn't had that little girl, she would have never came out and been able to tell her story. Let's see here. I don't get people why they hurt children. I mean, adults, let alone a child. I mean, I myself was molested when I was a kid, and I think that's just an excuse for people to say, well, I was abused and molested when I was a kid, because I was, and I didn't grow up to do that to children. So, I'm just saying, and if you were abused, I'm so sorry, and I'm sorry that had to happen to you. Like me and my best friend at the time, we're friends on Facebook now, but if it wasn't for her, the guy would have never been caught, because when we got home, we went to Red Lobster, and he was molesting her while we were riding down the road, and then my mom and stepdad stopped at a Waffle House and went in for a cup of coffee and stuff, and he was molesting me and wouldn't let me get out of the car. But that doesn't mean that I have to grow up and be that way. I have 6 nieces, and I just wouldn't be able to stand it if I heard that somebody hurt them. And I feel so sorry for Susan Nason's mom. I wonder if she's still alive. But anyway, I thought I'd share that with you, because I know what it's like, and if you or anybody you know was hurt in that way, I understand how it feels. So he got life. Let's see here. On January, okay, until that moment in 1989, Franklin, we'll just say Franklin, because I don't feel like saying Franklin Lips because every time, had had no recollection of being a witness to this horrible scene. Now, suddenly, it came flooding back in graphic and gruesome detail. Her hands flew up to her head, she later said. The next thing I heard was 2 blows. It sounded terrible. So, yeah, that would, oh, how could he do that with his daughter in the van? I don't get that. So this, at least, was a story that Franklin began to tell her friends and family, and eventually the police. That's my clock. After taking a statement from her, the police arrested her father, George Franklin, on November 29, 1989, for the murder. At his home, they found a number of pornographic magazines and pictures, including those of young children. Now that's sick. Okay, that's just I'll tell you a story. One time, remember when all they had was AOL? When when the internet first started, yeah, we had AOL, and you know how you could send some people pictures and well, all of a sudden there was this picture that was sent to us, and me and my best friend Angela, who's still my best friend, looked at it. It was a little girl sitting on her knees and posing, and I was sick. I should have took the picture and stuff to the police, but what were they going to do? I mean, I had no idea where it came from, and I was just bewildered. It just was just nasty, and no one, I don't know if she wanted to do it or if she was made to do it. But I don't get why people hurt children. They are just sick. So, I'll get back to it in just a moment. I can't really see here. So I'm making this for Christmas. And I want to hang it on the door outside. Like, get it framed. And hang it on the front door. So I want to know something. Who sells their diamond paintings? Because I heard something about copyright law. And I I would love to sell them and make, because a lot of people can't afford um, to buy a bunch, or and because once you get started, you get addicted, right? So, 20 years earlier, in September 1969, almost the exact year before I was born, young Susan Nason disappeared from her town of Foster City, California. Her body was discovered outdoors a few months later, showing signs of a violent death, including a crushed skull and a smashed ring that seemed to indicate she was warding off a blow. Oh, yeah, that that she was um had defense wounds on her. That's sad. Oh, I don't know. A bloodstained rock was found nearby. The press reported these other facts, but police never made an arrest for her murder. Let's see. Franklin and others were questioned at the time, and Franklin went to visit Susan's graveside on the first anniversary of her death. Well, I don't know if he was feeling guilty or what, but, the asshole should have been feeling guilty. I don't know. That's just terrible. Now, let's see, 10 years later, Franklin's wife asked him if he had murdered Susan. During their divorce proceedings, Franklin, her mother, said that Franklin had abused his own children, including Eileen, both verbally and physically. See, I told you he was mean. And I think they had like 4 kids. I'm not sure though. I can't remember. Now, 20 years after Susan's death, Franklin claimed that she remembered being with her father and Susan on the day of the murder. She said that she had watched her father rape and kill Susan, and that he had threatened her too. Yeah, I knew that. I could remember. He said that if I told anyone, she testified, he would have to kill me. I believed him because of the shock of what she had witnessed and her total belief in her father. According to several psychiatrists who were questioned, she had repressed her memories of that day for years. Not until she saw her own daughter in a pose similar to Susan's 2 decades later, she said, did they resurface. Okay. Yeah, my birthday's Wednesday. Can't believe I'll be 51. Getting old. My mom says, "You're still young." Well, I don't feel young. The trial opened in late October 1990. So wow, I was 20 years old. And Franklin became the star witness. The prosecution's case revolved almost totally on her account based on the resurfacing of her repressed memories. Leading psychiatrists and psychologists testified on behalf of both the prosecution and defense. The prosecution witnesses explained the theory of the repression of traumatic memories. The defense witness argued that Franklin did not fit the profile of those who had such memories. Now, how do they know that? You know, is there a sign on your forehead that says, that she can't repress memories? I mean, that's just crazy. Repression of traumatic memories, the defense witnesses argued that Franklin did not fit the profile of those who had such memories, and indeed called into question the accuracy of such memories in any event. The defense also argued that all of the facts to which Franklin Lipsker testified had been reported in the papers. She therefore could have known what had happened without being an eyewitness to the murder. Well, you know, I would believe her anyway, because I gotta get my charger. Because not many people come forward and blame your father for rape and murder. It ain't coming on. I don't know what's wrong with this cord, but it don't want to charge. And I know it's a cord because it does it to my iPhone too. Excuse me, I'm sorry. must be the thing, the USB port, because it just came on when I changed. So anyway, oh great. Sorry about that. Oh Lord. Oh, I just don't know. Okay, so back to the true crime. Anyway, trial judge Thomas McGann Smith prevented the defense from introducing newspaper accounts that mentioned the fact that Franklin revealed. However, he did allow the admission of what some would call circumstantial evidence. When Franklin went to visit her father in prison before the trial and asked him to tell the truth, Franklin had said nothing, instead pointing to a prison sign that warned inmates that officials might monitor their conversations. Franklin's silence, said prosecutor Elaine Tipton, in the face of this accusation was worth its weight in gold as an implied admission of guilt. Yeah, seems like that would be. So, it's, yeah, at first when I started this, I didn't think I'd be done by Christmas because I'm slow. Yeah, I don't go as fast as some people. But, I think I might get done by Christmas. I guess I'll put this on because I can't hardly see. Let's see here. There. Yeah. That's better. Let's see. Yeah. But it works, so who cares how funny it looks? So I hope my mom wakes up in a better mood today. She was crying and just really crying hysterically yesterday because she could hardly hear me, and it's so, so sad. But, I have a cousin who broke his neck while falling 3 stories because he was working, and I don't know what he did for a living. I just know that he went up, and they didn't have anything that keeps you safe, like if you fall or the safety things. But he went up anyway, and he fell. And my mom said, well, at least he can hear. He ended up being paralyzed from the neck down. And that was, I don't know, about 20 years ago. And I said, Mom, how could you say that? She said, at least he can hear. I think being paralyzed from the waist, not waist, but neck down is worse than being deaf. She thinks she's got it worse than anybody. And I feel for her, but there's other people that have it harder. And she don't believe me, so. And she always says that. At least you can hear. And I'm like, well, there's more to life than hearing. Yeah, I feel bad for her, but like, I had trouble getting out of the house, and I had agoraphobia, and that's where you're afraid to get out around people, and I had to force myself every single day. Yeah. And that's why I said that my doctor put me on some great some wonderful anxiety meds. I'll be feeling nervous and shaking inside, and then I take my and it just, in a few minutes, the anxiety goes away. Yep. But only the names of the pills, medication to, so you can ask your doctor about them if you're not already on them. Because it's just where, I don't know why they still have Xanax on the market when they don't want to give you any. I mean, yeah, people might get get addicted to it, but it helps. Okay, so let's see. On November 30th, 1990, the jury found Franklin guilty of Susan's murder, although the prosecution had not produced any physical evidence to connect him with her death. The conviction rested almost totally on Franklin's testimony, despite her estrangement from him and the psychologist who claimed the veracity of her claims. Who challenged the veracity of her claims, On January 29, 1991, Judge Smith sentenced Franklin to life imprisonment, the maximum sentence possible under the law at the time of the 1969 murder. However, in 1995, a federal appeals court overturned the conviction, finding that Judge Smith should have allowed Franklin to challenge his daughter's testimony by being able to introduce the newspaper articles as evidence. Wow. The court also found that using Franklin's silence as evidence of an admission of guilt violated his constitutional rights to remain silent. Finally, the court noted that the entire subject of repressed memory was a high controversial one whose accuracy was still subject to debate. Franklin later sued his daughter and the psychologist who had testified against him for conspiracy to present false testimony, but the court ultimately rejected the suit. Wow. Every time I take medicine, though, it gives me a dry mouth. Oh, don't you hate having that? While memories of past events are often used as evidence in civil and criminal trials, the heavy reliance on repressed memory in the Franklin case was unique in American criminal law. Trial courts had long recognized that memories could be faulty, especially when they were of events from far in the past. The Federal Appeals Court here found that the repressed memories of Franklin were no different than from other types of memories. And it criticized the trial court for refusing to let the defense the federal appeals court here found that the repressed memory of Franklin were no different from other types of memories, and it criticized the trial court for refusing to let the defense test these memories, as it would have been able to test any others. After being in prison for 6 years, George Franklin was released from jail when his conviction was overturned. Oh my gosh. So all he did was 6 freaking years? Oh. Well, hopefully he's dead by now. And I hope it was a slow, painful death. Oh. But you know she was telling the truth. Anyway, I appreciate you coming on and and spending time with me this morning. And please say a prayer for my mom. And I love you. And I'll be praying for each and every one of you. And thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.